Okay, now it's March the 7th, 2015. So I was watching the news when they had a segment called Go Public where they do stories on people who have had problems and try to help them. So I went on the web and got their number. So I called on January 24th and they called back the same day and left me a message. I was shocked because not one of the politicians I left messages got back to me. Not one. So I called Manjula and told her what was going on, and she said it was a terrible story and she would look into it. So a few days later I called her up for an update, and she told me that she had called Kathleen Livingston, the Crown, and she told me that she had retired and was not finishing the trial. So found out later that wasn't true. I was stunned because she had made a big deal to my family. She was going to see this through. No one from the court got in touch with me. I'm glad. Maybe I thought a new Crown would listen to reason and scrap the plea deal. So on February the 6th, we went to court to find out who the Crown was. When we got there, the Office of Victim Support, they could not help. So we would have to talk to Justin Kerman to find out who the Crown was. So on the 9th of February, I called the victim support worker, Justin Kerman, again from work. She told me that Kathleen Livingston was still doing the plea deal. I told her, the reporter from Go Public, talked to Kathleen, and she said she was retired. So she changed her mind. Maybe she was freaked out because somebody from the media was getting involved in this now. I told her, I talked to Kathleen, she said she was retired. Okay. The support worker called my wife, said Kathleen was doing the trial, but none of them will talk to the press. So on February 11th, I called the victim support worker and got the answering machine. I asked her for Judge Gunn's number. I thought maybe we could talk to Judge Gunn, the one that doesn't seem to care about anything like the victims or just the criminals she seems to care about. And for the police officer's name who did not go to help my son when they got the 911 calls. And an eyewitness who said they saw him down there with blood all over his face. When I got home, my wife said the lady from the court called, and the officer's names are Shelby, and his badge number is 183, and the other officer, Millington, badge 283. But I've been lied to and screwed around by these people in this courthouse so often now that I find it hard to believe anything they tell me. She gave me the name of Powers, the head of the Crown Attorney General Office. So the head, I figured maybe he would listen to reason and help me. So I called on February the 12th, got voicemail, left a message about me and the plea bargain. Of course, everybody basically knows, I think, in there by now what's going on. And anyway, so on February 13th, sent him a fax, what happened to my son. But, let's see. So on February the 17th, I called him again because I got no answer. This time the secretary told me he was on vacation. Wow. Surprise, he was on vacation. That was a lot of help to me, wasting my time, more of it, eh? So I asked her for the person filling in for him. And I told her, and she said that they knew nothing of the plea deal and that she would look into it. Yeah, I kind of find that hard to believe, you know. Let's see. So Justin Kerman deliberately, maybe she just wanted me to waste my time. Let's see. So I phoned Tim Hudak and told the secretary what was going on. She was shocked and upset. She told me to send her a fax and she would make sure it was on his desk. So let's see what happens. I also left a message for Susan Claremont. She reports for the Spectator, but she never got back in touch with me either. On Friday, I went to Tim Hudak's office in Beamsville. So let's see what happens. Let's see. So I got a call from Go Public. The journalist named Adam Carter. I told him all about the nightmare I was going through, and he said he was going to look into it. Oh, maybe at least somebody got back in touch with me, right? I talked to Drew Cobbin from Victim Services. She snapped at me and told me they would not talk to me until after the court was done. I would figured out maybe Go Public phone there and try to talk to them. Must have hit a nerve. She seemed pissed off. And she's victim services. She's supposed to be on my side. Wow. Surprise, surprise, eh? I talked to Tim Hudak's secretary, and she said he sent a letter to Madeline Mueller, and this is the letter he sent. At least he talked to me. None of the other politicians would. This was the letter that he sent. I don't know if you can see it, but it says, I'm writing on behalf of my constituent, John Podbaiskis, whose son, Dustin Podbaiskis, was murdered on the Red Hill Valley Park in Hamilton, 2011. Understandably, Mr. Podbaiskis is distraught over his son's death and has some real concerns about how the legal system is handling his case. Wow, he's not kidding there, eh? He has called or faxed your office. This was to the Attorney General. Faxed your office numerous times. I think I sent 25 faxes and phoned maybe 20 times. A hope of getting some clarification, but has received no reply. The attached correspondence was brought to my attention. Miss Mueller, please give Mr. Podbaiskis the courtesy of a reply. She's never talked to me. Never once. Coming up for 4 years. And she couldn't call me or anything, even to give me a reason why she won't. Anyway, okay, moving on. So on March the 4th, I called Madeline Mueller. She was not there again, so I called back on the 5th and talked to a guy named Dan, another secretary, I think. I told him what was going on with the plea deal and that I had got in touch with the media and told them what was going on, so I needed the Attorney General to help me. If not, the news media will be in her office with cameras asking questions like why she would not talk to me, why she would help the Bosner family and not my family. He seemed shocked and said he would give her the message. So on March 6th, last day before we went to court, I called Tim Powers, head of the Crown's office. He was not there, of course. And the secretary said, I told the secretary I needed help. He sent me a fax, and all the letter said was just about the court case. He sent me this, which didn't help me at all. I wanted him to help stop this plea deal, and you can see he's senator, so basically that was just all a waste of time. Let's see. Moving on. Okay, so I got that, and there was no help from him. I called Madeline Mueller's office to see if Dan had got a message to Madeline Mueller to help me. He was not there, and he did not call back. No help from him. But one of the Crown's office, a male, called me to tell me the plea deal could not be changed. I told him I'd heard Kathleen Livingston told Drew Reed's lawyer, Charles Pettigrew, that if he did not follow the rules of the plea bargain, it would be struck down and murder one would be done. So it could be stopped. The Crown can stop this, right? But they all telling me that it can't be stopped. Wow. These people are lying to me in our justice system. People that are supposed to serve us, the victims, and the good Canadian people. Seems like all they care about is the criminals and maybe their police buddies, eh? I told him okay. Let's see. He struck down. I told him that I believe that this was being done because the police officers didn't go for those 911 calls, didn't want to come down there to court, and show their faces. And he said they did go down there. He told me, I asked him, he said that they went down there. I asked him, well, where was the ambulance and the fire department? Why did they not find my son? He was lying on the side of the road. He said they must have overlooked him. He was lying on the side of the road. They must have overlooked him. Yeah, I don't believe they went down there. I know the fire department didn't, and the police didn't, the ambulance didn't. So it sounds like more bullshit and lies as far as I'm concerned. So no help from Kathleen. I got no help from Kathleen Wynne. I tried to get a hold of her. Andrea Hawthwart, messages, faxes, nothing came back from her. Or Justin Trudeau, nothing from him. Tim Powers, that was a waste of time. Susan Claremont from the Spec, waste of time. Tim Hudak, I mean, he did send the letter, but she still never talked to me, and he never followed up. So that was kind of a waste of time. So Tim Hudak secretary told me that politicians can't get involved in legal matters. Then why does the Canadian government help other Canadians arrested and jailed in other countries? Isn't that a legal matter? I'd just like to say, this plea deal the Crown is doing is because they believe one jury member might go against them. One jury member. They never even picked a jury. And this is their reasoning. Not they don't have enough evidence, but one jury member might go. Does this sound wrong? It sounds wrong to me. I'm not a lawyer, but this all sounds very wrong to me. Yeah, not that they don't have enough evidence. No one will help me or my family make them change this to murder one, and I've tried everything, and now I've just run out of time. It wasn't for lack of trying. So now, today's Saturday. Monday is March 9th, and we're going to court for more injustice for me and my family. So, unless things change, which I doubt they will, the next video will be what's going on in that courtroom. And of course, I had to take a week off work, which you don't get paid for anything like this. So, you know, more struggling for us poor Canadians, right? I mean, our justice system doesn't really care about us, I don't think. So, bye for now.